Good evening, good evening, good evening, my YouTube family. Good evening. I am Tamara Johnson Shealy, and today is Wednesday, March the 3rd. Had to look over at that calendar. And you know what time it is, y'all? We are keeping up with Congress. If you haven't already liked, please share. Please subscribe. Please hit the notification button, y'all. Spread the word. Of course, we're holding them accountable. We are looking for opportunities in legislation. Where is the money? Who is it going to? And how do we get some of it, y'all? Keeping up with Congress. So, of course, you know, this is always brought to you by, let me share my full screen. It is brought to you by Withhold the Vote, where we hold elected officials and candidates accountable. I told y'all the pimp game is over. No more do we go to these polls, show up and give this thing away for free. No more do we do that. We're going to have receipts in these political streets. We're holding them accountable, and we're harnessing our political power. The game is over. The gig is up. All right, let's dive in. You know, at the end of the broadcast, I will share your comments. I see you coming on in. Hey, family, I see you over there. Come on in, y'all. Thank you for joining me tonight. Oh, yeah, he asked if I'm feeling better. Yeah, the ankle is feeling much, much better. Still sore. My leg was sore because I had it wrapped so tight, but the ankle is definitely feeling better. I just got to stay off of it as much as I can for the next few days. I'm going to be careful, y'all. So let's dive into these bills. Thank you for asking, family. Let's dive in. Let's dive in. You know, I like to bring you reparations information, but I wanted to share this open letter. It's a delicate question. And this letter asks, who gets reparations? Y'all, I had to read, I'm going to have to read the whole thing to you tonight because some of this stuff, you can't believe it until you see it with your own eyes or hear it. So let me read this to you. It says on February the 5th, and this is out of Virginia, the House of Delegates passed a bill that would require 5 state colleges to offer full 4-year scholarships to descendants of enslaved laborers. This raises a delicate issue. To what extent should the president make reparations for past actions? Y'all see where this is going, right? Y'all see where this is going. Many people agree that it's only just that the president should recognize and acknowledge the sacrifice and injustice that has occurred in the past. The University of Virginia has done that. Listen to this. The University of Virginia has done that by erecting its memorial to enslaved laborers and carving their names in its walls. Well, I be damned. It says that the University of Virginia has done that by erecting its memorial to enslaved laborers and carving their names in its walls. And that is reparations. I be damned. Goes on to say, this is good. These slaves surely contributed more to the university than the more celebrated Edgar Allan Poe. It goes on to say, across the United States, there are other walls and monuments on which are inscribed the names of those who were drafted into the armed forces and later killed in action in 2 world wars and in Korea and Vietnam. These individuals also forced into a kind of servitude by the state. Should we, the president, offer reparations to their descendants and families as well? They too suffered greatly. They lost their lives. Y'all see where this is going? Listen to this last paragraph. The issue of reparations is a tricky one. It may be impossible for those of us living in the present ever fully to appreciate the trials and sacrifices of our ancestors and all that they suffered for our well-being. Now they're talking about their own ancestors, right? But here's the question at the end of the article. But does our generation deserve reward and recompense for what they endured? Okay, I'm gonna have to put this one on the screen just because it's hitting. Stop it, white people. Yes. I don't know who these folks are. But I'm like, okay, I just had to read it to you because sometimes we have to know how they think. And reparations is we're not going away. Cut the damn check. I just wanted you to see it and hear it for yourselves, y'all. They say this is a delicate question. Let's keep it moving. I wanted to remind you of the hearing that's tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Yes, tomorrow, Thursday, hearing to examine how the financial system hurt workers and widens the racial wealth gap. Remember, it's in the Senate Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs Committee. It's tomorrow, Thursday, March the 4th at 10:15 a.m. 10:15 a.m. Make sure you log in and go check this out. Like, I'm going to make sure I'm listening because I'll come back and bring you a recap. For those of you that may not be able to see it, I will definitely log in and give you an update. Hope it ain't like the Herschel Walker where he was going off the deep end and I couldn't listen to no more of that foolishness. Foolishness, y'all. Straight foolishness. I just wanted Herschel to just be quiet. He just messed it up. I never did go back to finish watching the rest of the HR 40 hearing. I will at some point. Just had to get past Herschel, but hopefully this is not that kind of hearing. So again, tomorrow, March 4th at 10:15 a.m. I will be sure to let you know how it goes. I'm saving it on my desktop so that I don't forget. But here's another, just to let you know what else is going on. I will be hosting tomorrow at noon. If you get a lunch break, if you can take your lunch around 12 noon Eastern tomorrow, I will be right here on YouTube at noon to talk about HB 541. Georgia has introduced y'all a bill. Thank you. And big old shout out to Representative Roger Bruce. He has introduced a monumental piece of legislation that literally speaks to addressing chattel slavery in the state of Georgia and the impact right here in Georgia. So it's phenomenal, monumental legislation that gives Republicans, y'all. I'm going to go all in this tomorrow. We're going to dive into the specifics, but it's giving Republicans an opportunity to lead the charge. And that says a whole lot about a red state. Let's see if they want to get this right with this Republican Party being split. And we got a gubernatorial race that's coming up in 2022. Let's see if they want to get this right. Politics is an exchange. Voting is an exchange. We don't give it away for free no more. That pimp game is over. We want something. How about get these votes for that? Representative Roger Bruce, big old shout out. So noon tomorrow, y'all, if you can join me right here, hit that notification button, hit that right there. Set that reminder, y'all. Set that reminder and tune in and watch me tomorrow at noon. But of course, it'll be recorded if you can't make it back. So let's dive into these bills, y'all. Let's dive in. All right, HR 672 is the Refuse Confederate Principles Act. I told y'all about Representative Bobby Rush last night. I don't know who is in Chicagoland, Illinois, y'all, whoever he represents. I'm more and more impressed with him every time I see something. Representative Bobby Rush, Democrat out of Illinois, this Refuse Confederate Principles Act. I looked it up to see what it was. His press release says that Rush introduced legislation to remove over 1,700 Confederate monuments. He pissing off a lot of people, y'all. Good job, Representative Rush. Sounds like I will get to know you in Congress. We're going to be friends. So it goes on to say Representative Rush announced the introduction of the Rejecting and Eliminating the Foul Use of Symbols Exalting, which he calls the Refuse Confederate Principles Act, which would establish a program through the U.S. National Park Service to expedite the removal of Confederate symbols and to incentivize the formation of alternative structures. Go on, Representative Bobby Rush. I like him, y'all. He goes in. HR 672. HR 673 is the Hazel M. Johnson Memorial Stamp Act, another one from Representative Bobby Rush, again, another good one. I looked it up. I didn't know who Hazel M. Johnson was, but here she is. If you can see over here to the right, Hazel M. Johnson was an environmental activist on the south side of Chicago, Illinois. She is considered to be the mother of environmental justice. Like I tell you, keeping up with Congress, we don't have to be experts in everything, but we're going to learn a little bit about it all, right? We're going to have some working knowledge of how this game is being played. And I appreciate Representative Bobby Rush for, he goes in, he keeps it real. He bring it home, and he really does represent Black people. So I'm very proud when I see his policies coming down the pike here. So that was HR 673. HR 674, Hazel M. Johnson Congressional Gold Medal Act. Not only was he, going to give her a stamp, now he's talking about a gold medal. He ain't playing. Representative Bobby Rush. HR 675 is the COVID-19 Price Gouging Prevention Act. Representative Janice Schowalski. I hope I'm not butchering her name too bad. Democrat out of Illinois, HR 675. This price gouging, of course, just to give you a definition, price gouging occurs when a seller increases the prices of goods, services, or commodities to a level much higher than is considered reasonable or fair. Usually this event occurs after a demand or stock or supply shock. So yeah, in this COVID season, a bottle of Lysol is costing damn near $25. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but damn, I'm telling you, I've seen it. It's like, come on, y'all. Representative Schowalski, HR 675. Of course, that was we caught up from last night. I've been trying to keep us on this cycle where we're getting so many House bills and we're doing so many Senate bills. I'm kind of off, but I'm catching up, and then I fall right back behind. But just, we're going to keep up with Congress nevertheless. So, of course, this is brought to you by, again, Withhold the Vote. If you haven't gone to the website, please do, y'all. Join, support, send us a little cash app, Withhold the Vote. We got work to do, and this is diligent. Like, we are here, we are doing it. We have our meeting tonight, y'all, at 7:30 p.m. Immediately following this broadcast, I'll hop on, loving this Zoom world that we live in. I'll hop on and we'll have meetings with advocates from across the country. And we're talking about the issues and what bills we're actually going to target and how we're going to move. So this is where we have the behind the scenes conversations. That's every Wednesday at 7:30 with Withhold the Vote. So let's get into the Senate bills for tonight. Senate Bill 276 is the SAVES Act. Y'all, here's your boy, Ted Cruz, Cancun Cruz, who ran off to Cancun in the midst of the damn snowstorm. His whole state is in a state of an emergency. He gets on a plane, he and his folks, his family, and go to Cancun. Ted Cruz. We ain't gonna forget either. We're not gonna forget that you went to Cancun in the middle of the snowstorm. So this SAVES Act, let's see, introduced the Saving America's Vulnerable and Endangered Species Act, which would remove regulatory burdens for ranchers and conservators engaged in captive breeding of exotic wildlife, while promoting animal conservation in the United States. Ted Cruz goes on to say, Texas wildlife owners and breeders are currently saddled with burdensome regulations that stifle their breeding programs and species conservation efforts. Y'all, what they breeding? What are they breeding? This bill would support the recovery of wildlife population, decrease wildlife trafficking. Ooh, they trafficking the wildlife, y'all. What are they trafficking? And maintain thriving populations to benefit Texas's economy. Okay, Ted Cruz, but I just want to know what kind of exotic wildlife they got going on over there. That's Senate Bill 276, y'all, the SAVES Act, Cancun Cruz. Senate Bill 277, the Public Water Supply Invasive Species Compliance Act. Our boy Cancun Cruz again. Look at that. I will put this one up on the screen. Zoom. Yep. He running on from the snow, running to Cancun, right? Senate Bill 277. So this bill is the Public Water Supply Invasive Species Compliance Act will ensure the steady flow of interstate water transfers without interference from Washington bureaucrats. So this bill provides certainty to water agencies who supply water to Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana by ensuring that interstate water transfers between the three states are not shut down as a result of the Lacey Act, which is legislation that affects trade in wildlife, fish, or plants across state lines. So this is our boy, y'all boy, Senator Ted Cruz, Senate Bill 277. Like I said, we won't be experts, but we're going to have a working knowledge. It won't be, nothing will be thrown at us that we haven't heard a little something about. So keeping up with Congress, we don't have to know it all, but we're going to know a little something. Senate Bill 278, y'all, look at this. Check it out. Emergency Relief for Farmers of Color Act. Guess who this is? Let me make it. Can I make it bigger? Maybe it's big enough. Let me make it bigger one more. There you go. Look at that, y'all. Senator Raphael Warnock, his first bill, that he sponsored. Now he has several. He has about 20 some. Ask me how I know. I ain't gonna even tell you. Just know I know every move he make. Every move he make. Just know I know. Senate Bill 278 is the one. My finger is up in the air. The one that he has actually sponsored, and it says Emergency Relief for Farmers of Color Act of 2021. Not black, not those that are descendants of slavery, color. But here we go. Let's take a look at it. I did look it up to see the specifics. I know. Don't ask me how I know. This Emergency Relief for Farmers of Color Act would provide $4 billion in direct relief payments for Black, Indigenous, and Hispanic farmers to help them pay off outstanding USDA farm loan debts and related taxes. It would designate another $1 billion to fund support activities at USDA to, quote, help root out systemic racism. The bill also includes a provision that will provide up to 160 acres to existing and aspiring Black farmers. 160 acres? No, that's not enough. Nowhere near enough, but we'll proceed. The measure was praised by the USDA. This bill is a culmination of hard work and collaboration among members of the Senate and House and new leadership at USDA who share a common purpose to end inequality in our food and agricultural systems. The USDA Chief of Staff, Catherine Ferguson, said in a release statement, "It is a bill crafted to address the immediate need for debt relief among those who have been marginalized and are hurting, while also advancing long-term issues such as heirs property, tackling the root cause of discrimination via an equity commission, and investing in building back a new generation of farmers of color." You hear that? Of color. All encompassing, minority, color, all encompassing. It's indigenous, Hispanic. This is first bill, so I'm gonna stay off of him. Emergency Relief for Farmers, Senator Raphael Warnock, y'all. Senate Bill 279, a national broadband plan for the Future Act of 2021. This is Senator Markey, Democrat out of Massachusetts. Senate Bill 279, and this is to require the Federal Communications Commission to update the national broadband plan. Yeah, I tell you, we here in some parts of rural Georgia, internet is a luxury, and it saddens me because these kids now are, everything's digital. You're online, and it was when I traveled around the state as a candidate, I can tell you there were some areas where there was no internet and your phone service barely worked. That's why I only travel in the morning because I wasn't playing on them rural highways. So National Broadband Plan for the Future Act of 2021, the Senator Markey, Democrat out of Massachusetts. Senate Bill 280, FEMA Climate Change Preparedness Act, Senator Markey again. So this bill will create a subcommittee to FEMA's National Advisory Council that would explicitly focus on climate change and direct FEMA to include climate risk in its strategic planning. It says last year, a record-smashing 22 multi-billion-dollar weather and climate disasters cost the United States combined 95 billion in damages. So this is Senator Markey's bill to address climate preparedness in this country, Senate Bill 280. Senate Bill 281 is the Gun Violence Prevention Research Act of 2021. I think that was pretty self-explanatory. Didn't look that one up. Gun Violence Prevention Research Act. I don't think we really need to research it. You know, sounds like some money that we could put elsewhere. But okay, Senator Markey, there's another study group, commission, something. Our tax dollars, keeping up with Congress, y'all. Senate Bill 281. Senate Bill 282 is the Arctic Refuge Protection Act of 2021. This is, again, Senator Markey, Democrat, Michigan. I thought this was some beautiful landscape. This goes on to talk about how this new legislation would restore protections to the Arctic refuge. The Arctic Refuge Protection Act is to restore protections to one of the most vital landscapes in America. Passage of this legislation would be a huge step toward protecting the calving ground of the porcupine caribou herd and providing food security for the indigenous in Inupiat and Gwitch, I butchered them, I'm sure, and peoples who depend on the caribou to feed their community. So this is some absolutely beautiful, beautiful landscape and terrain. So I do understand why they want to protect it. So the Arctic Refuge Protection Act of 2021, Senate Bill 282. Senate Bill 283 is a bill to establish a national climate bank. Now, I didn't know what the climate bank was. The National Climate Bank. Looked it up. So it goes on to talk about this National Climate Bank could spur private investment in clean energy and create millions of jobs, paving the way for a low carbon future post-COVID-19. So it goes on to say, on a block, this is a good example. They wanted to explain it. On a block to Bridgeport, Connecticut, a row of small houses are each topped with solar panels. The homeowners might not have normally considered solar or been able to afford it, but they are part of a program that helps lower income households access solar power and efficiency upgrades. They now save hundreds of dollars each year on energy bills. It's one example of the work done by the Connecticut Green Bank, which is an example of this climate bank, the country's first bank of its kind, an example of the type of work that could be done at a national climate bank designed to help the U.S. quickly deploy wind and solar power, electric vehicles, and other climate tech. So this would be a climate bank. Senator Markey, Senate Bill 283. So like I say, keeping up with Congress is about us just kind of knowing a little bit about everything, or as much as we can, right? Senate Bill 284, the Library Stabilization Fund Act. Library Stabilization Fund Act. So our libraries, y'all, COVID-19 is causing significant financial losses for libraries, resulting in disruption to core library services, thousands of staff furloughs, and layoffs across the country. Fiscal stabilization is needed to preserve crucial library services for students, job seekers, rural and tribal residents, and small businesses now and in the recovery to come. So this Library Stabilization Act fund would establish a $2 billion fund to address financial losses and bolster library services with priority to the hardest hit communities. So they want to stabilize and save our libraries. So again, this is Senator Jack Reed, Democrat out of Rhode Island, Senate Bill 284. Senate Bill 285, Medicaid Reentry Act of 2021, Medicaid reentry, y'all. So this I found interesting too. Y'all, listen to this. This bill would allow Medicaid to cover health services in the last 30 days before an individual is released from prison or jail, and is critical for stopping the spread of COVID in correctional facilities and the community. Under current law, Medicaid does not cover health services when people are incarcerated. People who are incarcerated are considered inmates of a public institution and barred from receiving Medicaid benefits, even though most detained even individuals are Medicaid eligible. This policy creates gaps that prevent people from accessing needed services and medications at release, including access to COVID-19 testing and treatment as people transition back to communities. So when they get out of jail, they just throw them out there with no kind of, say you need your heart medication, or you're diabetic, you need medication, you get nothing. They just, and they're considered inmates of public institutions. So now here's my next question. Like, what kind of medical, it is, I'm sure it's not considered insurance. Who provides the medical care? Who pays for that? Is that included in does the institution pay for that? Now I have 1,000 questions, y'all, about inmate coverage, of medical coverage. I have a lot of questions. So like I said, in Congress, I would be asking a million questions. They'll be like, make her stop, because I would have a bunch of questions. This is Senator Baldwin, Tammy Baldwin, Democrat out of Wisconsin. I'm gonna keep this bill. I'm gonna save this one because I have too many questions to let that one go. We will definitely revisit that one. Senate Bill 286, Coronavirus Vaccine Act, Senator Markey. And I looked this up because I'm like, Coronavirus Vaccine Act. Right now there's still a lot of the bills don't have the text, so I have to do a lot of the research myself, no problem. But I went back into the last Congress when he introduced this, and it was a bill to support further comprehensive research for the creation of one universal coronavirus vaccine. So I'm wondering, is he trying to still say we need one universal coronavirus vaccine? We shall see. Senate Bill 286. This was from last Congress when that's what the bill said. Let's see what it says this Congress, y'all. But we're almost at the half hour. I told you on Wednesdays that we have our behind the scenes for those who are supporters of Withhold the Vote every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We meet, we go over legislation, we strategize, we figure out our next steps, we come up with call to actions. I sent an email out over the weekend. So we've been working, we've been diligent. We're not quiet, we're not going away. We have a lot of work to do. So I encourage you, if you have not gone to the website, please, for the 1,000th time, please go to the website, support our efforts. You see, I'm committed. You see that I'm not going anywhere. We have races to win across this country. And if we don't keep up with these legislators, we're going to go back to the polls and we're going to give this vote away for free. And like I said, we're going to have, the next time we go to the polls, we got to have receipts in these political streets. They've been pimping us, and I call it a pimp game because that's what it is. We go to the polls, we give this thing away for free, we get nothing for it. A smile, a broken promise. I think all of us are tired. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I ran not one, not two, not three. I ran 4 times. I ran for the state Senate 3 times, and the 3rd time should have been a charm, but the Democratic Party showed me who they were, and now I believe them. The 4th time I ran in this special election where we wanted to replace Kelly Loeffler right here in the state of Georgia. Raphael became the front runner. And now I'm keeping my eyes on him. Don't ask me how I do it, y'all. We know what he's doing in Congress. Trust me, every step he makes. He has to run again in 2022. We'll see where the Lord leads me. Thus far, I'm keeping up with Congress. I'm staying politically in tune. I'm learning. I'm in the next stage of whatever this is that we're doing together. And I just want to thank you for joining me and being a part of this process. It ain't over. We got work to do. I'm not going nowhere. So continue to stick and stay with me. And this is going to get more and more interesting. I promise. So again, thank you for joining me tonight. I am Tamara Johnson Shealy. Please spread the word about Withhold the Vote. Join us. Be a part of what we're doing. Help us out. I'm not, like I say, this work is not going anywhere, and neither am I. So I'm about to hop on to our Zoom call with those who are participants of Withhold the Vote. And I will see you guys tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Oh, but I'll see you tomorrow at noon. Make sure you hit the notification button tomorrow for HB 541, the update on that. And then I'll see you back again at 7 o'clock. Have a good night, everybody. And I'll put your comments on the screen